Boston is changing faster than anyone expected, and what's coming next might rewrite how you live, commute, and even, well, see the city. From towers built over live train tracks to racetracks turning into entire new neighborhoods, Boston is in the middle of a construction wave that will completely reshape daily life in 2026. These aren't vanity projects. They're a glimpse into how an old city reinvents itself for the future. And before you say it, yes, we'll get to that, what affordable really means in Boston with actual numbers and receipts. So if you want to know what's really about to change living in Boston, not just what's trending, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how 4 projects are transforming the way this city moves, breathes, and grows. Okay, you can feel it. Cranes over the rails, scaffolds by the Charles, the city reinventing itself in real time. And if you're watching this, you're probably one of the people trying to figure out what it means for you, where to live, what's coming next, and, well, what it's really going to cost. I'm Joe Turco. Let's start where, well, the transformation's most visible. South Station. South Station Tower. Step off the train at South Station. Look up and, well, you don't just see sky. Now you see, well, a tower. Decades of stop and start attempts, the South Station Tower opened in September 25th of 2025. It's not just tall, it's useful. Think offices, homes, a hotel, retail, and, well, an 11th floor sky park. Yes, with the pool stacked right above the region's busiest transit node. Why here? Because space over a super hub works harder than, well, a space anywhere else. Now, the price tag, about $1.5 billion, isn't vanity, it's leverage. This is transit-oriented development turned up to, well, 11. The project boosts the bus terminal's capacity by roughly 50%, easing the crunch where regional buses meet subways, commuter rail, and Amtrak. Add rooms for convention traffic, daytime office energy, a residential pulse at night, and ground floor retail that keeps the concourse, well, lively. You're not just passing through a station anymore, you're entering a neighborhood. If you're commuting through here in 2026, your morning coffee stop isn't outside the station anymore. It's, well, above it. You'll look up at the offices instead of timetables. I've driven that curve countless times. You could feel the frustration every rush hour. Seeing it get untangled, well, it feels personal. It wasn't easy. Building over live tracks means threading steel and columns around schedules that can't miss a beat. But doing the hard thing unlocks a valuable precedent. Stations can be places, not just portals. That's the bigger story here. The tower signals confidence in the center of the network and a model other cities can copy. The test over the next year is simple. Does it feel public? Do commuters feel welcome to sit, shop, meet, and move without friction? If the answer is yes, Boston hasn't just added a skyscraper. It's upgraded its front door. Thinking about planting roots near, well, where Boston's skyline is literally rising over the rails? Shoot us a message. We'll help you find your spot in the middle of it, because we want to be your local Boston real estate team of choice. And the best part of our day is when we get your call, text, or email. Information is, well, down below. Now, shift to the Mass Pike in Allston. The curve you know, well, too well. For years, it's been a bottleneck. Ramps, viaducts, rail yards, and, well, the river all crowding the same space. The Allston I-90 multimodal project aims to straighten and simplify that, well, mile-and-a-half stretch. Unlock land and, well, cap section with parks so that the neighborhood can finally touch the Charles again. It's also proposing a brand new West Station, a commuter rail hub that would connect Allston, Brighton, and beyond Cambridge and downtown without all the car shuffle. 2025 moved the ball on environmental filings and design, and it also delivered, well, a plot twist. A large federal Reconnecting Communities grant was largely rescinded, leaving about $8 million. Instead of folding, the state reran the numbers and kept pushing because the payoff is structural. A straighter highway is cleaner to operate and less visibly dominant. Parks over the roadway would, well, stitch back the urban fabric, and West Station could transform Allston from pass-through to destination, changing how students, workers, and families move across the river. Yes, the project is complex. Interchanges, rail relocation, flood and stormwater planning, and a cost that could land near $2 billion. But the outsized upside is clear. Straighten the pike, build the station, cap the gaps, and you don't just fix traffic, you grow a neighborhood. The near-term focal point is, well, that October 16th, 2025 task force session. If design and funding guardrails firm up, early work could start around 2026. The curve has defined Allston for half a century. The next decade could define something else. Access. With federal funding volatility and complex staging, what portion of Allston I-90 and South Station benefits will regular riders actually feel by 2026 through 2030 versus, well, the advertised visions? Which one do you think changes daily life more? The straightened Pike or the tower at South Station? Drop a comment below. From thoroughbreds to townhomes, what happens when Boston flips a racetrack into a mini city? East Boston and Revere are minting a new district where thoroughbreds, well, once thundered. Suffolk Downs spans 161 acres, more than twice that of Back Bay, and it's not a single building. It's a city-scale plan. Over time, it's set to deliver about 10,000 homes, 5 million square feet of commercial space, and 40 acres of parks and open space. Plazas, parks, bikeways, and neighborhood retail connected to the Blue Line. The goal isn't a bedroom community, it's a complete neighborhood. So, phase 1. Amaya opened in June 2024 and by April 2025 was 93% leased. A big signal that the market is ready for housing with transit at its door. The near-term cherry on top is a 1-acre pond park planned to open in spring of 2026. A visible anchor for, well, the green network. Long-term, the site's scale can support schools, a library, and everyday stores that make car-light living actually work. What makes Suffolk Downs different from Boston's last boom district? Well, intentional mix and inclusion. Thousands of units are slated across all the incomes. The plan emphasizes open space, transit, and a street grid that's walkable from day one. It also sits in flight path country, so the team is designing with noise and height in mind. On jobs, the numbers are equally bold. Tens of thousands of construction and permit rolls over the build-out, and significant new annual tax revenue once the district really fills in. Will there be hard questions? Absolutely. 2 municipalities, airport adjacency, and the MBTA's capacity constraints all demand careful coordination. But as buildings come online and parks open, the promise is getting tangible. A dense, green, transit-first neighborhood on land that, well, sat idle for years. If the Seaport showed how fast Boston could grow, Suffolk Downs aims to show how well it can grow. Will Suffolk Downs and Dorchester Bay City actually deliver long-term affordability for working and middle-class Bostonians, or mainly just new luxury inventory near transit? If you live in Back Bay, the change hits you in the skyline. Cranes giving way to light above South Station. In Allston, it's the hum of trains where gridlock used to be. Over in Eastie, coffee walks cut through new parks that didn't exist a year ago. And if you're in the South End or Dot, your commute might actually run smoother than your playlist. Boston in 2026 doesn't feel futuristic, it feels functional. Yeah, this is exactly where comments are going to go feral. None of this is affordable. So let's arm you with receipts, because the truth is more complicated than the headline. What affordable actually means in Boston? Well, in Boston, affordable doesn't mean cheap. It means income restricted housing based on area median income, AMI. And AMI includes wealthy suburbs. So, well, the math, it's skewed upward. For 2025, one-person households at 70% AMI earns about $81,000. At 80% AMI, it's around $92,000. And at 100% AMI, roughly $116,000. That's why someone can make 6 figures and still qualify for an affordable unit here. It's not spin, it's math. What Suffolk Downs and Dot Bay City actually promise? Well, at Suffolk Downs, out of roughly 7,000 Boston-side units, more than 900 will be income restricted on site, averaging 70% AMI, some as low as 30%. With another $5 million fund for off-site affordability and $28 million in housing linkage payments, well, add it up. That's roughly 20% of the project is tied to affordability. At Dot Bay City, the plan calls for about almost 1,957 units with 20% income restricted, or around 400 affordable homes, plus $53.7 million to Boston Neighborhood Housing Trust, and $10 million to MAHA's first-time homebuyer programs. Together, those two projects could add roughly 1,800 permanently income-restricted homes, about 3% increase in Boston's total citywide affordable stock. Now, what critics get right. The activists are not wrong when they point out East Boston's median income sits around $45,000 to $50,000, far below most affordable thresholds. For many longtime residents, even below market prices still feel out of reach, especially as property taxes and rents spike nearby. That tension is real. The city defines affordability by AMI math. The neighborhoods live affordability by paycheck reality. What the research actually says? Well, studies by Fannie Mae and the Upjohn Institute show that new construction generally reduces rents 1% to 7% relative to trend, because supply takes pressure off the market. So even luxury buildings can help modestly, but they don't fix deep poverty. That's why these mega projects mix both. Income-restricted units for working and middle-class households, and tens of millions in funds for deeper subsidies elsewhere. Now, the real question, when people say that's not affordable for us, you're right. For many families, it isn't. But freezing new development won't make Boston cheaper either. So the real question becomes, do we keep building and push for deeper affordability, or stop building and make the shortage worse? For New Bedford and Fall River, well, March 24th, 2025 wasn't just another date on the calendar. It was a reunion. That's when South Coast Rail Phase 1 launched. It was restoring passenger service after 65 years and reconnecting to the South Coast, well, to Boston, with a predictable timetable. So what did it look like under the hood? About 37 miles of track work, 6 stations, and 2 layover facilities, all built for a service that finally puts the South Coast on the same map as Boston's commuter rail. What does that mean in real life, though? Well, commutes that you can plan, students reaching campuses without a car, nurses making early shifts reliably, families saying yes to jobs that were, they had to once decline because the drive was a gamble. And it's not just Boston-bound benefits. Expect the flow to reverse, too. Weekend trips to the South Coast waterfronts, restaurants, and cultural sites powered by rail instead of traffic. Phase 1 uses diesel locomotives today, but Phase 2, an electrified alignment via Stoughton with faster trips and more frequent service. It sits in planning. Funding will take work, but momentum matters, and Phase 1 delivers it. The more people ride, the stronger the case to go electric. Lower emissions, quicker acceleration, and quieter train, and a system that scales. This project took decades of advocacy, revisions, and budget battles. Its payoff is measured in minutes saved and options gained. For the South Coast, this isn't hype. It's a train you can catch tonight. By the time these projects land, everyday life here won't feel revolutionary. It'll feel smoother, closer, easier. For Boston, it's proof that reconnecting the region multiplies everything you do at the core. How much do these mega projects improve door-to-door commute reliability for everyday riders, given MBTA maintenance and operations issues? Well, Boston's play is simple. Strengthen the core, reconnect the region. Build up where people already move. Link out to those who've been, left off the map. The result? It's a hub plus reach equals network. A city that moves faster, feels closer, and works better. Which shift hits you first? Smoother transfers, greener streets, a new address, or a reliable ride? If you want Part B, the Allston Pike Plan and Suffolk Downs build-out, subscribe and stick with us. The next chapter is already on the calendar. And if Boston's future feels like the kind you want to live in, reach out to our Boston real estate team. We help people find homes near every one of these projects. Then check out our Living in Boston playlist to see how the city's changing block by block. Hit subscribe to follow Boston's biggest projects, and connect with our team if you want help finding your place among them. Don't stop here. Cue up the Boston Future Projects playlist to see what's breaking ground next.